Hi, welcome to GTOP Educational Videos. Today we're going to focus on asking questions. The purpose of this exercise is so that students become familiar with asking those questions. To start with, the questions are short and simple. As we progress, we will get answers to those questions, and the answers will develop from the short and simple to the more complicated. The aim of the exercise is for the students to gain confidence from asking short, simple questions and giving short, simple responses. This way, they can develop their skills into asking longer and more complex questions and giving longer and more complex answers. It's also intended that the students increase their vocabulary. It's been designed in the form of, if you like, a game, so the students don't realize that they're actually learning. And the whole purpose here is that we call upon as many senses as possible to learn a particular phrase, expression, vocabulary. So if we're using our sight, our hearing, our speech, and we're also doing something using our psychomotor skills, and we're actually doing something, then using 4 skills, it should make some impact on the mind and on the memory. So we're going to start off with our person. This is our person, the subject of our questions. And we're going to ask the following questions, which for many of you will be very simple and straightforward. How? What? Why? When? Where? Would? Where? Who? And we've got our person here, and we're going to put these questions around the outside of the figure. Now, if you're not doing this on a computer, you could easily draw a figure and then cut on paper or card the questions that we've got arranged around the figure. Make it fairly big, because there's some questions that we need to put alongside each of those first words. So next we have a number of statements, and the idea is to match those statements to the question word. So if the first question is your name, which is the right word to go before that to make it into a question? Should it be, how is your name? Well, that doesn't sound quite right. When is your name? That doesn't sound right either. Who is your name? Isn't correct. What is your name is by far the best answer. So where we have what around the figure, we will now place that statement. Again, old are you? Is it what old are you? When old are you? Who old are you? No. The answer is how old are you? So against the card saying how, we would put this statement. And as we go along, we're going to get the statements to match up to the right question word, until at the end we have got all the questions put against the right word: how, why, what, when, would. And here are the rest of the statements. Is your name? Is your country? Is the time there? Is the temperature? Many family members are there. Is your job? Is the colour of your hair? Long have you been married? Tall are you? Did you get here? Does your grandfather live? Mobile phone. Favorite film. Preferred food. Type of music do you listen to? TV programs do you like? Do you exercise? Sport do you like? Car do you own? Is your office? Many staff work there. Time do you leave for work? Days are rest days. So you get the idea, and there are many more statements that the students could actually develop. So working on that structure of how, why, when, what, would, we can start to write our own questions and then decide which is the word that goes in front to make it into a question. And we've got there an example. Old, long have you been, tall are you? Should be followed by how old, how long have you been, how tall are you? What is your name? What is the colour of your hair? What is your job? So at this stage, we're just developing the questions. Now it comes to the answers. And this is where the student can be a little more creative. Having understood the question, we now need the answer. So the answers can be made up. Or you can put these answers here and get the student to allocate one of these to the right question. So for example, how old are you? Then the correct answer, I would assume, is 23. Where do you live? In Dhaka. So each of these answers here and here should be fitted next to the appropriate question. So we have a series of questions, a series of answers, and the right answer should be fitted to the right question to get a complete conversation. Now the aim is perhaps to have 50 questions, 50 answers, all placed around the figure of the man. Having done that, what we could then get students to do is to talk it through. One person is the man, one person is the questioner. So I, as the questioner, would say, how old are you? And the other student would say, I am 23 or whatever age they wish to give. So we can develop a whole series of conversations based on this very simple how, why, what, when, would. And if the students really take to that, they can develop it even further by having a conversation like, how old are you? I'm 23. Oh, my sister is 23. Do you know my sister? And then it could go on from there and there and there. But all the time, they're developing the correct structure for the sentence and understanding each other, having used this very simple format from the beginning.